everything changed. I feel like my life has come to a pause. Everyone's life has gone on, but mine is like a pause.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Today we have a very special episode for you because we have two very, very special guests. They are here today because they want to share their story about their experience with stroke. These two individuals, I have met them for a few months now, and they are really, really inspiring to me in terms of how they have overcome or how they have approached this challenge of dealing with stroke. So I'm very honored to have them today to share about their story, and hopefully it will inspire you as well lah. So welcome to the show, Jess and James.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so maybe before we begin, you can just briefly introduce yourself, maybe your age, how do you all meet, some basic information about the two of you.
Okay, hi, I'm James. The one sitting right beside me is actually my wife, Jess. Okay, how we met each other was like years ago, or more than that.
We met in church.
We met in church, yes. So I was actually what to do? I was actually being tasked to send her home. I was being enrolled because we are staying quite near each other. So the time I remember was somewhere near 911 incident. So we were all watching the news. And then after that, hey, can you send this girl home? Because she's staying near you. I was like, why me? I don't want to watch today. So okay lah, send her home. That's where I get to know her. And slowly we become slowly then we move on. We progress and became husband and wife. Yeah.
Did you choose to get sent home by him, Jess? Or was it someone else that arrowed you?
No choice.
No choice. Then kena arrow, then have to have to see your car lah.
Yeah.
So what was your first impression of each other at church?
Not very good.
Not very good. What?
Yeah, not very good. Yeah, because I was like a very how to say
It's not my type of boyfriend that I wanted.
yeah, she's not the kind of girlfriend that I wanted also.
But through the interactions, then
but things change.
Yeah.
Things change along the way. So a lot of things that husband it was like, this is not my kind of guy. But you never know, man. When things happen, it happens.
Yeah.
So never say never.
Yeah. Maybe before we move on, just get you all to describe each other in one word.
One word.
Maybe y'all can.
Comical.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's a very accurate description of James.
For her, wow, there's too many words to describe. She's what is the best word to describe? Well, I don't have the best word to describe, but the only word I can think of is that she's very responsible.
Responsible?
Pretty.
You chose the wrong word.
But she's very responsible, because
Efficient.
yeah, she's very efficient. She's very responsible. That's why sometimes she do things very fast. And for me, it's like my style of working is like chill, just slowly cruise through the kind. For her, it's like I want it to be fast. Then she'll just get done. For the next moment, it's done already. I was like, hey, relax lah. No hurry. For her, it's like, you got this, we do, finish, that's it.
I think that's why y'all make such a good couple. Y'all complement each other so well. Okay, so maybe we move on to the next question. So how was your life like before this whole incident happened to Jess?
Okay, I had two boys. So I'm actually a very hands-on mom. That's why I'm always busy with taking care of them. Yeah.
Were you working before or were you a full-time housewife?
I was working part-time job, but mostly I'm studying as a SIT student.
Oh, okay. So you're studying as well?
Yeah.
Masters or
Bachelor.
Bachelors? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing part-time, then you're studying and also taking care of kids lah.
Correct.
Very, very busy.
Yeah.
How about yourself, James?
Okay. I'm currently right now working in the healthcare. So my life is very busy. I mean, Sometimes I would work until very late. I would come home like knock out. Then I always get scolded. I can't never spend time with the kids. Yeah, then Saturday is like Saturday, Sunday. I can literally sleep through the Saturday, Sundays because of the way we are working, the way our life is. And my work is like I can finish my work about 11 a.m. 11 p.m., 12 a.m. that kind. So a lot of times my wife's like, "Yo, you're so busy, man. Hey, your kids late. So I was like literally sleep through my weekend sometimes. It's like because too tired already. So that was my life lah before that happens. Yeah.
And your wife will be taking care of the kids.
Yeah, then she was
get
like
angry at
complaining.
you. Why you never spend time?
Yes.
Okay, so then obviously this incident happened, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you all can walk me through what was the events leading up to the stroke, and visually what actually played out after that.
Okay, before I start everything, I should say is that I hope that this incident will not happen to any one of us, and really, I really hope that it won't happen to any one of us. But the thing is, I mean, sometimes things do happen. So if it happens, let me share with you all. I mean, your people around, what to expect and what to see. Okay, this incident happens in this year February. So everything was normal. I was like as usual, tired, check out, sleeping on the bed. Then my wife told me in the afternoon, "Hey, I'm going to do my eyebrow. You got to take care of the boys." But instead, I slept through. To be honest, I slept through. So I woke up when she came back. She was like, "This guy must be sleeping again." So everything was normal. She was busy messaging her friend in the day, in the afternoon. Everything was really normal. It's our normal routine. So then night time, she bring the boys to her parents' place to eat dinner, came back. Then about 9 plus 10, then suddenly she complained of a severe headache. The kind of headache is like you never experienced before. The kind of headaches. It's they call it the mother of all headaches, or the worst. A lot of people will think, is it migraine? I should go. It's not the kind of migraine or headache. It's the kind of headache is so painful that you actually started vomiting. Yeah. Then my wife, Jess, was actually vomiting. So I was thinking, is she having vertigo? Because it's like, because to me, stroke is like you may be slur one side, your face look one side, but she don't have looping, so she don't slur. So I was wondering, wait, what's happening? So I thought it's vertigo. So I was like, Then after that, she lied on the bed on a very awkward position. So I thought maybe because she vomited too tired, that's why she's going to take a rest. So I go and entertain my boys. I ask my boys, go and change your clothes, go and sleep already. Then my eldest said, go and check my mom. Okay, go and check my mom again. So about 1 minute later, we walk back to the room. I asked her, hey Jess, how come no response? So when I push her right because she was lying on a very awkward position, so I push her right. You can realize that when you push her, the weight is very different. It's not those kind of like, you just push a person, the person can just stand, but hers is really, you can feel that it's very heavy. So something's not right. So I just push her, I switch on the light. I said, hey Jess, how come she's not opening her eyes? So when I open up the eyes, right, it's really 翻白脸. It's really 翻白脸. It's really like, 翻白脸. Something's wrong already. Wow, so we keep on calling her. My boys was actually was with me. They saw what happened. The boys was actually quite traumatized. The boys were actually traumatized. I was like stunned. What happened? So call 995. I called my brother to come down. My eldest brother is staying near me to come down here immediately, take care of my 2 kids while I follow the ambulance. Okay, so the boys was actually screaming and yelling, Mama, wake up, Mama, wake up. So there was quite a big commotion. The neighbor actually heard what happened. So they were like, hey, what's happening? So the next thing they saw was the ambulance came up. Then the boys, so it happened that my eldest brother came together with then the ambulance also came at the same timing. So I hand over my boys to my brother. He brought my 2 boys to my mother's house and stay. while I was phoning the ambulance. So after the ambulance, we reached the hospital. So she went in, they did a CT scan. Then the surgeon says, "I want to speak to me." So I was like waiting outside. Then the surgeon came out. Hey James, yeah, hi, yeah, I'm the okay. Let me give you a brief. What happened? We are going to perform a life-saving ops on your wife. I was like, huh? Life-saving ops? What do you mean? Okay, then he shared, oh, your wife suffered from brain aneurysm. I was like, what is that? The first thing I was like, what is brain aneurysm? So I really realized that actually it's the rupture of the brain vessel. So, brain, I was like, brain aneurysm, life-saving ops. But it was very sudden because the whole day, everything was okay. She was doing her normal routine. Everything was okay. Then she was messaging her friends, talking to her friends. Then night time came, life-saving ops. It's like, I couldn't adjust to the information initially. I was in a state of shock because it's very sudden. And to the point of time, like, the whole day, literally, like, normal routine. It's really your normal routine. Then suddenly the next thing, your wife is in danger. So the operations last about the whole night. Yeah, so I remember that time they asked me to like, okay, you go home and wait, come back later. I reached the incident happens on 9:45 or 10 plus. By the time she started doing everything, it was about 12 operation. So I reached home at 3 a.m. While I was crying, I was literally crying, kneeling down outside my room because it was like I was in a state of shock. And I don't know what to do. I was really stunned. I was like, there's so many information flying across your mind. A lot of information is like, brain aneurysm, what's going on, what happened, life-saving ops. Then the next step is how I'm going to break the news to her friends, how to break the news to the parents, how to break the news to my parents, to who. So many information, things that I suddenly like lost. So 3 a.m. I reached home. Then 6 a.m. I went back to I couldn't sleep, of course. Then I saw the CT scan. Yeah, the hospital CT scan. I saw a CT scan. Then suddenly the computer shut down. I was like, I was like looking halfway at the CT scan and the computer shut down. I was like, oh, no, don't do that to me, please.
All the bad sides.
Yeah, bad timing is like of all times. At all times. Then after that, so 6 a.m. I reached back there again. I went to the counter and checked, is my wife done with the operation? They said, no, it's not yet done. So I remember I was like outside the hospital. So I was trying to find like her handphone passcode. So I couldn't have a handphone password, so I couldn't announce to her friends. So I was like, I was like, I don't have passcode. Then how? How to unlock her phone? So how to announce? How to tell her friends? Tell her school, everything. A lot of people I need to inform. So the moment I call one by one, I managed to get some of the friends. They are like, "Are you serious?" Some of my friends, what ICU? What? It's like they thought it's a normal ICU. I was like, what ICU? See me ICU because yesterday she was talking to us. She was messaging us. Even today, tell me ICU. So I told her, explained to them what happened. All of them got shocked. A lot of my friends got shocked. My parents were shocked. Everybody was like rushing down, came down. I was like, what happened? So when she came out of ICU, finally she came out of operations, went to ICU. Oh God. Then because hers is they perform emergency ops on her, they don't have time to shave her hair. So they only shave half. So half of her head is long hair, half of her head is bald. So they tie up the other side. So it's very weird. So I was like, hey. So part of her skull was being removed. They call it a cryptostomy or some removal of skull. So part of the skull was being removed because her brain was actually swollen.
There was internal bleeding.
Yeah,
in the brain.
bleeding, yes. So part of the skull was being removed. So you literally see her head is like one round and one flattened part. So I was like, huh? I was like, what's happening? Then you see her tubes everywhere. Tubes, lungs, everything. It's literally everywhere. So I was like, oh, this is my wife. Suddenly she's on what catheters with everything in a state of coma. Then I was like, hey, what's going on? I myself was trying to cope because I was very overwhelmed. So I was thinking, how do I tell the boys? And how do I break the news to her parents also? I was like, wow, the time was really, really a lot of your brain is working on like high adrenaline, very high adrenaline. It's like you keep on information. You don't have time to rest until at night. Then you sit down there and you are like, wow, this is the most stone like you will ever face in your life. It's like sit down there at the sofa. You are literally zonked out already. You are really like a zombie down there. What's happening? Because at the same time, you're trying to cope with what's happened. Then there's so many people asking you questions. There's a period of time I don't even want to answer any WhatsApp messages. It's not that because I don't want to answer, but it's because there's too many people asking me questions. You need to then your work. How do I go tell your boss that, hey, look, boss, I'm sorry, I'm going to be out of work for a period of time because something happened, something major, something critical happened at home. So I told my boss was like, okay, go. You just take a break first. And you come back about 2 months later. So initially it was 2 months, becoming longer and longer because the conditions, like because we don't know what's going on, we don't know what's happening. Then so we just have to really cope along the way. Find your own mechanism is the toughest lah.
For Jess, from the moment that you started feeling unwell, how is it for you?
Actually, I don't feel anything at all. Even when I wake up on the bed in the hospital, right, I was wondering what's wrong. I have no recollection of what happened.
From that day that it happened?
Yeah, correct.
No recollection at all. Even the headache, you also had no recollection at all.
Yeah, I was shocked too. So I was thinking what could have caused the stroke. You know, I had high blood pressure since young. It's an inherited condition from my mom. So the only reason I can think of is, could it be the high blood pressure that's causing this? Well, the thing is, I had it controlled. I've been taking high blood pressure medicine for a very long time. Ever since my first pregnancy, when I discovered that I have a pressure, I've been taking it after giving birth. So it's been so long. I think it could be the high blood pressure. Did the doctor say that it's because of the high blood pressure?
The doctor never really pinpoint it's a high blood pressure. And because it's just the brain vessel actually got a bubble. So over the years it became bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like you are blowing the balloon, you just could be just
It'll
rupture.
get thinner and thinner until
They just
it
rupture.
breaks.
Yeah, just it breaks. So high blood pressure could be one of the reasons. Could be, might be.
The doctor did not
You
say
pinpoint
for
anything.
certainty what is the cause.
Yeah, there's no certainty. And then she actually eat well. She eat very well. She exercise. She sleep early. Unlike me, the kind of like the worst example of the opposite.
Sleep late, no exercise, eat anyhow
go
eat.
supper. So when this incident happens, I was like, that's why it even hits me even harder because she's very health conscious. She do her health screening. She do this. She do that. For me, it's like although I'm in healthcare, but I'm the total opposite. Like, what should I do in my life? So that's why it's like this incident hits is really a very very a lot of I don't know. A lot of like I really don't know what happened.
Yeah. So for Jess, after you knocked out, basically everything changed already lah for you.
Yeah, everything changed. I feel like my life has come to a pause. Everyone's life has gone on, but mine is like a pause. I can't pursue my dreams. I can do a lot of things. So it's been really hard for me. Yeah.
I think it's very different if it's something that you know is coming and it's something that suddenly happens to you. Right. I think from what you have mentioned, the shock is a very big,
So
it's a very traumatic.
Yeah, so I was
thing,
I was
right?
talking to my medical director. They says that he actually says if a person is born with some issue, it's easier for them to accept. But for us, as a norm, I mean, for us, as everything was doing normal. I mean, we are able to do our normal routine of life. A sudden change of normal routine, and it's a very very sudden change. It's harder for a person to accept. So what he actually mentions that is like we need time, as usual. Everybody says that time. For the caregivers, he actually says that you need to rest. You really need to rest. Because a lot of people saw me during that period of time, I was really zonked out. I mean, I'm living like a walking zombie because it's like I'm very tired. It's very, very tired. But yet you can't sleep. It's not that you want to sleep, but because your wife in the ICU. So when your wife in the ICU, I can't sleep at home. I can only sleep at when I go back to hospital at the launch. One of the things is like for caregivers taking care of stroke patients, I believe some of you are some of the people listening right now, they are going through it. There's one thing I would say is that you have to take care of yourself. I couldn't emphasize this more than that because a lot of people tell me, hey, you gotta rest. I know it's very difficult. I really couldn't sleep. It's really couldn't sleep.
That time you were telling me you were so such a frequent person in the hospital that everyone there
yeah,
even recognize you, right?
I was.
No, so I think we go back because the reason why you were in the hospital so much was also because Jess was in a coma.
Yes.
Right.
Close to 60 days.
60 days.
Close to there. About 40 to 60 days.
So after the surgery, she still wasn't in.
She still wake up.
In the clear lah.
She still wasn't clear. So okay, after the surgery, there's a lot of. I met with the surgeon again. She told me she's not off critical yet. There's another critical stage that she's going to go through. It's called a vasospasm. I was like, what? All the medical terms.
Something new.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? First is brain aneurysm. That's SAH, subarachnoid hemorrhage. I was like, what is that? Oh, I was like, see me like. I was like, the typical guy, see me like. So after that, I was like, what is vasospasm? Oh, it's the thinning of the vessel, this, that, that. I was like, wow, I couldn't understand what they're talking about medical terms. So I went to Google it again, search again, vasospasm. Vasospasm is actually it's like where there's a bleeding somewhere, your vessels around will start to close up to stop the bleeding. So it's like, for example, during a car accident, a person's hair was being severed, but yet the person is not bleeding to death because vasospasm kick in. The vessels around the arm there close up so that it'll stop more bleeding. So for brain, right, if let's say there's a bleeding in the brain, the vessels around the brain will want to close up to stop the bleeding, but it works against the patient. For this human condition, right, it works against it instead of helping it. So it started to actually wanted to close up. That's why she's like, she can't wake up. So the vasospasm, so they have to.
So that was the cause of the coma.
One of the reasons.
One of the reasons.
So they have to do a IR, which is a very invasive thing. Insert something through the groin area, all the way to the brain vessel to open up the vessel. Some people that go through SAH will have this issue. Some don't have. So for hers, right, hers lasted about 21 days. People do about 3-4 IRs, right? Hers is do like 8 rounds of IRs, like inserting to the vessel or this. So she did a lot of rounds. So it was like every time she had to go through this, you are like, it's like.
But Jess was not conscious lah, right? Jess?
Yeah, she's not conscious.
She was still in the coma.
Yes. So she was in a coma she was in the ICU close to about 30 days actually. So every day, the hours, right, I was in the hospital. So from the moment she was admitted in the hospital, every day I'm there. Every what do you call it? Every visiting hours, I'm there. Until only 7 days I'm not there because I got COVID. Yeah, after that one, until 7 days, I get my friends to go down to army take care of my wife. So I asked, hey, who's free to help me to look after her wife? So her classmate came, my friends came during the time when I'm not there because I really want to see her, but I can't. The kind of feeling is really wow, trapped, close herself in the room while she's in the. Wow, I was like, the feeling is terrible. It makes things terrible.
So for Jess, after you woke up, what was it like for you? After you woke up and then you realize what happened, what was your first reaction, and subsequently how did you eventually manage to deal with it?
I was shocked because I didn't know that I would be a person to have a stroke. It didn't come upon me that I would have a stroke because I was always living very healthily, like what Jane said. But I met a lot of good people in AUH and Ntingpo. All the nurses and the doctors are really very good. The therapist is also very good. And I've been doing therapy ever since I discharged. Therapy is really good, very good as well. It helped me to work within the 1 month of the therapy session.
So when you first woke up, I assume that it was very difficult for you to do anything.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's very tough.
The only thing I missed was having the food that I used to eat, like mala.
In the hospital, I'm sure they don't give you mala.
But actually, I gave her.
You still give her?
I gave her.
In hospital, you only eat congee.
Oh, you only give porridge.
Yeah, so it was really tough not to eat any other good food. So I asked James to buy for me.
But before you do that, make sure you get clearance from your speech therapies. So I get clearance one. I get clearance one.
So for stroke, there are many side effects that can happen, right?
Yes.
For some people, they have difficulty swallowing. Some people they have
Yes.
difficulty with speech. Most people they have one side paralysis.
Yes.
So for Jess, I guess the swallowing was still okay.
She went through
I don't have any of
stages.
that. The swallowing is because of the trachea that I was on.
Okay.
So I couldn't swallow.
Because of the
But
tube.
after a while, I could swallow. So it's good. The only thing I find hard is it affected my eyes. My occipital lobe was affected. So I couldn't see at all, even up to now. So that was really very difficult.
For her, she actually went through whatever stages that you all mentioned just now, she went through everything. NGT tube, trachea, catheters, everything. So she literally went through every single thing that a patient that you wouldn't want to see, she went through it. So initially it was that she was on a breathing tube every day for 40 days. She couldn't wake up. So the ICU says that we're going to operate on this trachea on her. I say, do I have a choice to say no? Because I know once you put a trachea in, it's going to be a very, very long progress to be taken out. Because in order to remove a trachea, the first person needs to wake up. Second, just slowly they're going to change the tube from the bigger size to the smaller size to a speaking valve. Then
They won't just take it out.
They won't take it out like that. So they won't just take it out like that. It's a progress that they have to go through a progress before it get taken out. So it was like, I have no choice now. I mean, I say, I don't have a choice. Can I don't create the trachea? Yeah, I was quite against it initially, but I know that the doctor says that they're going to do it. You have no right to say no. You have to say, okay, no choice, got to do what got to do. So after that, she created a trachea. So yeah, trachea was done. Then NGT feeding is like she can only drink milk from the nose to the throat, to the stomach. So when the trachea was done that time, every time when they do a suction, right, I tell you, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare because you hear the machine. And then the patient will be very comfortable. The patient will like go into a spasm like that.
At that point in time, she was awake already.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But you can still see,
You can hear the sound.
and you can still see the patient being uncomfortable.
They will put curtain, they will close up the curtain because it's very gross. It's then with the sound, like, so like that. You can see the patients like it's like they cannot express it, they're uncomfortable, but yet they cannot because there's a lot of phlegm. It's not phlegm in the throat, but they cannot because they are still in the coma, so they have to use. So those K-drama, please, you see them like in a coma 3 years, wake up like that without any tracking. That one is 骗人.
Wake up still very pretty, still very got makeup.
No, it's really because when the person is in coma, right, the person needs to clear away the phlegm. So there's no way they can clear away the phlegm just by sleeping there, doing nothing. You need to create a trachea, to create a hole to remove all the phlegms out. Because the person cannot cough up. A trachea it's a no choice thing. And create that one is really about lung infection. There's a lot of things that look into it, lung infection, all these things. So for the 4 months, she was in actually on trachea. So when she started to wake up, okay, her case was quite interesting. She was in hospital for 4 months. On the last few weeks of her discharge hospital, her trachea was removed. Her NGT was removed because her progress was really fast. In the sense like from sleeping all the way suddenly wake up, the kind is like it's all the way shoot up. So after the trachea close up, the one is eating time. Wow, this one was another torture for her because the food was terrible. It was puree.
porridge 啊，空氣
Puree lah.
Yeah, puree.
Liquid food.
So I spoke to the speech therapist. So I worked with the speech therapist. The speech therapist said, hey, can she eat solid food or not? So the speech therapist actually said, okay lah. We work on it on Monday.
So you start with the mala.
So,
Not start with the mala.
扬州炒饭
So the first thing you ate solid was 扬州炒饭.
Yeah, no, she actually got me to buy fish porridge and then 扬州炒饭. Yeah, because we were late. So I messaged her because we are late because we have a clinic appointment. So I got no choice. I really buy the 那种同乐那种的
Paradise.
那个 Paradise 哇很贵哦，那个 like
No wonder you can eat. You buy expensive 扬州炒饭 for you.
Initially when the speech therapist I gave her the porridge, right, 她吞不下嘞。So the speech therapist was like, hey, what happened? Don't tell me going to put back the trachea. 不要弄我嘞，不要玩我嘞，要放回咩？不可能嘛。So 我讲 never mind，一边的炒饭。That's why she bought two 嘛，相信 buy two，再买的扬州炒饭。So the moment the 扬州炒饭 go into the mouth, the rest is history. 他就开始
胃口大开，
胃口大开。
你 suddenly can eat.
我 suddenly 哇 eat and eat. I want fish fillet. I want 麻辣。哇 I buy the 麻辣。哇好吃。哇 because it's like too long. She hasn't get.
There's about in total 4 months, 4 to 6 months.
4 months.
4 months since the incident.
Since the incident was 4 months, 4.5 months. She couldn't eat any solids. So yeah, then after that, she realized that her vision was being impacted. But the progress for stroke patients, the recovery especially is it's not based on our timing. It's really based on the timing of the patient herself. The doctors actually tells me that, okay lah, she's most likely she'll be left side paralyzed, she'll need long-term care, she'll need this, she'll need that, she'll need a lot of things. That is what medical science always tell us. So
for treatment-wise, after all this post-hospitalization, what was the plan from the doctor for Jess?
They didn't really give me a plan per se, but they only like consultations when this and that. But
Follow up and follow up checks.
Checks. But for For me, is because as a caregiver, and not all cases are the same. Okay, but for stroke, I mean, I have to say this: not all stroke cases are the same, and some can be severe, some can be like not severe. For my wife, Jess is a very severe case. So, I can't give an answer to any patients. Any caregivers that it can be done, it can be done. I don't give false hope. And they want to. A lot of things really depends on. You have to make a decision on what you need to do. I cannot make a decision for you. My decision that I made during that time was like, out of all the worst decision I have to choose the best. It's not a very win-win situation or a very good situation. So I learned to choose the worst decision.
The best out of the worst.
Best of the worst decision. So after that, the doctors actually says that because hers is a right side of the brain was being affected, so the left side paralysis is real. And she says that most likely she cannot walk, she cannot stand, she cannot do this. But now she's standing up. She's learning to stand up now. And she's learning to take a few steps of walking every day. So we actually sent TCM down also. So TCM looks at things very different from medical science. I cannot say that medical science is wrong, because medical science is based on evidence, based on all this, based on a lot of theories. So they say that the left side, right side ruptured. This, but we have cases that because I work with a physiotherapist, I work with physiotherapists. They actually say something. There are cases in Ireland. There's cases in overseas. There's a patient that's went to a car accident. The whole half of the brain was gone, and he depend on one side of the brain to control the whole body. Walk, talk, normal, everything by one body. I mean, by one half of the brain. So neuroplasticity can kick in, but the thing is, with this, there's a lot of things can be done, but as long as 都没有希望了 might as well 有 hope. 他们医生 the medical science will say 你没希望的 no, like okay, she's based on her like that severe right brain aneurysm, right side, all this and about. Yes, because as a doctor, they have to tell you the worst scenario. Yes, I mean, that's how the doctors work. They will tell you the worst case scenario. They will give you they will paint a very beautiful picture for you to give you false hope. I'm sorry to say that, but that's how the healthcare in Singapore works lah. So if anything happens good, good law. If anything happens bad, it's like 跟你讲了咯. The kind. So her case is we go against the medical science, go against quote unquote. We refuse to believe that okay, she's going to be like this. If as a caregiver, if you're going to just believe the doctor says that she's going to be like this, then they should be like this, like this. But if you really love your loved ones and you know that you have to think of something to do. Think of a solution. I mean, there's no solution, but think of the best way. So one of the best solutions that I did was like getting a PT down, getting a TCM down. Getting a TCM come to a home is actually 是误打误撞. Okay, it's a 误打误撞 thing. Because I brought her to a TCM clinic, that she was like she was like so cranky until I like, headache. I was like literally like, actually I scolded her at the clinic because she was being too cranky really. So I got no choice. I had to tell her like, So from there I was like, okay, I cannot push her too hard. So I gotta get a TCM down. That's what 误打误撞 found all the TCM come down to my house to actually do acupuncture on her, which is where acupuncture plus daily PT, and she actually learning to stand up now and take a few steps. For her vision, yes, she's still a bit affected, but I can say that we have some improvement, right, Jess? Yeah, we have some improvement, but not up to her standard. She was like, for stroke patient, they want to recover fast. It's very common. They want to recover. But the thing is, stroke is not about keeping your finger fast. It takes time. So for those who are taking care of your loved ones that are going through this, let them recover at their own time. Don't recover based on our timing, based on what we want, based on like, I want to be like that. Look, it's a new norm. During the COVID days, we know this was the new norm. The new norm. The new norm
in a long time.
Yeah, the new norm. So my family has to go through a new norm. I have to, as an engine of the house, I have to, I believe during the 60 days when she was in coma, there's a lot of emotions going on, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of things. A lot of things I need to settle, like your bills. Suddenly, a lot of bills still got to settle because a lot of times that she settled all these things. That's when I got to take over. I was like, what has she been doing? So I got to step by step find the bills, her credit card bills. 搞完了吗？还有没有欠钱？还有没有欠到钱？我还不知道嘞。So there's a lot of things I need to settle. A lot of things to go through my mind. So within this period of time, the 60 days, there's a lot of things that I've come to terms with it. The 60 days, I came to terms like, what happened is she going to be coma for the rest of her life? Because there's no answer during that time. Because she's not waking up. So there's a high possibility that she's going to be like this. So what happens is going to be like this. So it's going to be like this. Are you going to bring her home? Are you going to bring her outside? If she's going to be like this, I tell the doctor, let me bring her home. I want to bring her home. Let me take care of her. So and I will tell myself, this home belongs to us, the kids. So when I came back home, actually this house was empty for like a long period of time because my boys stay with my parents while I go to hospital. So periodically, for the first 1-2 months, I don't dare to come back this home. I don't dare to come back because the incident was still very raw. The memories, the painful memories of seeing her collapse, the painful memories of our happy times together, the painful. It's not the one. It's actually the memories. The things that pains us, the caregiver more, is actually the memories. But yet, these memories are the engine that keep us going on. It's pain and memories moving you on. It's a very, very raw kind of feeling. It's so raw, and it's very difficult to move on. But I tell myself, I have to move on. I have to step up. I have to do this. So I came back home. I opened the first time I opened the door, I cried. All the memories of all the memories of the house, every corner of the house, my boys, her. And that one I was alone. So walking along the house, it was quite so I tell myself, okay, what I need to do. So I clean out the house, took out the curtain, wash the curtain, took out the bedsheet, wash the bedsheets. And then after that, then the next thing I did was like, okay, I'm going to prepare for my wife to come home. What should I do? Hospital bed. So what you see here is actually I set up myself. Yeah, so I get the hospital. I was like, the hospital, hey, there's a hospital bed I want to give away. You want to take it? Okay, take lah. I can take. So I took the hospital bed, took the tray, set up the whole house, waiting for her to come home. So after that, then after a long while, then the doctor says she can go home. Wow.
How do y'all feel?
I break down and cry in the hospital. A lot of my doctor actually told me before this was that the day she go home, actually stop, your emotions will crash. You'll start crying. Tell me that, and I was like, huh? I was like, huh? 什么意思？什么意思？ Then after that, true enough, the day that she was discharged, I broke down and cried. Not broke down and cried because she's going home. Wow, 很多事情要做. No, broke down because the journey was very, very long. And
finally have moved on.
It's finally can move on. Because you see, during the time where you see her at ICU, you see a lot of patients, some move on, of course. You see patients move on. You see patients being transferred to the normal ward. But my wife was still stuck in the ICU. So from the ICU, stuck in the normal ward for a long, long time. Just like, can she move on to another ward to like JCH? Because for stroke patient, there's a progress, ma. Before the discharge, you go to condition ICU, then to normal ward, then to JCH, then go home.
Community hospital.
Yeah.
Then go home.
For us, it's like she's like always stuck at this section for a long time. ICU for a long time, stuck at normal ward. You see,
It seems that there's no progression like that.
Yes, it's like you just hope for the best. That time it's like, when can my wife go home? That's so finally. So when she was like at the com house, then she was like, okay, can go home already. I broke down, man. I was so happy that she can come home. It was really a tough, long wait, like I say, 4 months plus.
How is it for you, Jess? How was it for you through this period of transitioning from being in the hospital to going home? Was it a very big change for you? Or was it very difficult to adapt for you?
I think you recover the days of recovery include a lot of physiotherapy, a lot of occupational therapy. So I had to learn to walk, to learn to start using my hands. My hands are pretty much affected as well.
How difficult was it for you to do these therapies? I think for people like us who are normal, we can't appreciate the difficulties that a patient must be going through when they are met with such an illness. So maybe you can elaborate. How difficult was it? What was some of the biggest challenges that you had throughout this whole recovery process, even up till now?
For normal people that's able to walk, right? You will not appreciate the beauty of being able to just walk. But now I've learned to appreciate the ability to walk. It's such a lovely thing. I had pain every day because I was trying to stretch out my hand. I was trying to walk. There's a lot of pain in my body. So it was really tough.
So not only is it difficult, it's also painful.
Yeah.
Is that right? Was there anything that kept you going? Or how did you manage to pull through this difficult time?
I keep thinking of the kids. I said that I can no longer pursue my dreams. I miss running so much. I cry every day because I keep missing my own life. But I'm grateful to have James by my side. He's a very good caregiver. Oh, James.
Yeah.
Maybe is there anything that you all want to say to each other now that maybe you all didn't have any chance to say before?
James, thank you.
You are my wife,
I think
man.
now I have no regret why I accused you.
For me is keep fighting. Yeah, keep fighting. Don't give up. I'm with you. So for all the caregivers out there, don't give up hope. Keep fighting. It's a difficult journey because we are talking about dreams that's been put on hold for a long period of time. We are talking about life can still goes on. Do not be affected by stroke. Do not be affected by what's going on. I mean, my loved ones, my wife got it, Jess got it. As a caregiver, seeing her like this sometimes is very painful for me. I mean, a lot of times, like, she doesn't know. I was in another room. I mean, like, crying. Sometimes I wish I tell myself, I wish that I'd be lying on the bed, not her. I wish that I'm the one lying on the bed, not my wife. But when things happen, I tell myself this. As a caregiver, I know it's very tough. It's very difficult. Some guys, I know that some people that are able to accept that the much changes. Let's create new memories, new lovely memories of this stroke incident. Do not let do not think the world has not come to an end yet. It has not come to an end yet. And let's create beautiful memories of this incident. If we are going to be like every day sit on there, I mean, like if a caregiver, like, I mean, sitting in one room, keep crying, and just waste your life, might as well make a difference. Start to make a difference, start to be proactive rather than waiting there for things to, like, if you are depressed, your wife, your loved ones also get depressed. So I'm the aging. Everybody's looking at me. My boys are looking up at me. How I take care of mama. She's doing take care. Even my husband take care of me. If I'm going to be like, bo chap, like I used to live my life, bo chap, chill, the kind of chill lifestyle. My boys were not able to move on. Just not able to move on. My family stops. So I tell myself, I gotta step up now. My boys, I also, in the midst of it, I train my boys to take vital signs for my wife when I'm busy. Hey, boys, how you take vital signs for mama? Take blood pressure, take SpO2, take temperature. So that times I'm busy, my boss will take over my job. So that at least I can breathe. Learn to create space where you can breathe for the caregivers. Sometimes you need a timeout, means you need a timeout. I have a few timeouts. But I got a few timeouts. You
also need space for yourself.
Yeah, you need to create space for yourself. Don't everything hold on to yourself and kakizo. Like do it yourself. Or else because you go nuts. Because this is a marathon. It's a marathon journey. And the marathon is very, very long. You can talk about 40 kilometers, 100 kilometers. If you are going to start running, sprint yourself by the not even half, you already punch it already. So take it slow and steady. Live a day at a time, which is what I'm learning. Because we live like plan ahead. I mean, I only plan ahead for my business, but for my work. But for when it comes to my family life, I plan a day at a time. I mean, today she got progress, we celebrate. So tomorrow the事lah. I don't have to worry about tomorrow lah. Tomorrow, I got so many things on my hand to handle already. When I got time to go and think about tomorrow, just enjoy the day that the day can give to you. I mean, even I help my wife to, help Jess to change diaper. In the midst of it, we change diaper, so we also joke and laugh. 哇，很臭哎！ So we create new memories. Do not the whatever the past is past. Whatever happens, it happens really. No point sulking or crying. Why me? Yeah, I do ask like why me? Why my wife? Why? I got still such questions, but it's not going to be the main question of my life now. Now is the main question of my life is how can I bring comfort to my wife? How can I make her life better? How can I improve her quality of life? How can I improve this? How can I? It's no longer about why. It's about how. So when you learn to move on to how, okay, you will learn that all this why become important anymore. It's how to make things better.
I think whatever you have said for the last few minutes is exactly why I say at the start that I'm very inspired by both of you. Because as you all have heard, such an experience, I think traumatic doesn't even encapsulate. It's way worse than just being traumatic alone. Right? It affects you in so many different ways. But the fact that you can still sit here today and still share, and even before we started this recording, you all were still laughing, right? You are still joking around. Every time I come, you are happy. Understandably, you have your lows as well. But the fact that both of you are still able to move on, taking one step at a time, and making the decision to move forward and not dwell on the past and to just like what you said, take one day at a time. I think this is very, very commendable, and that's why I'm inspired because I think for a lot of people with illness especially, this is the hardest thing for them to deal with. How to move forward, right? People get stuck in this cycle of ruminating about their problems. Keep thinking about why this, why is it me, why is it me. I'm very like that. I got no hope already. Why bother? Yeah, but the fact that y'all can still find joy in it and move on. I think this is what I want everyone to take away lah from the two of you. And I think and I think that is why I'm also very happy that I could have you. And in fact, I didn't even ask them. They volunteered to be on.
Actually, Jess
Actually, it was Jess that
she was the one, not me.
that volunteered because she was listening to some of our episodes when she was resting, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very happy that we managed to do this episode. Maybe before we end off, Jess, any final things that either of you want to share with the audience? Anything that you want to say before we end?
Okay, guys. I think when I agreed to do this podcast, right, I was thinking what kind of message should I be conveying? What kind of positive message? I think the one thing I can think of is there are a lot of people that don't take medicine when they have a condition. Like for example, if they have high cholesterol or high blood pressure. Even when the doctor suggested. So one thing I wanted to convey is that if the doctor suggested, there must be a reason why. So please listen to the doctor. I think there's no reason to check whether they have any reason or not. If a stroke like that is going to happen to you. But see if you can see a doctor and do something about it. Be the best person you can be in this lifetime and live well. Exercise. Spend more time with your parents. I think these are things that I really support.
Yeah, I mean, whether a stroke will happen to you or not, even with these kind of pre-existing conditions, no one knows.
Yeah.
Like just with high blood pressure, no one knows whether you will have it, and no one knows when, if it will happen.
Yeah.
So the best we can do is to make sure that we are doing what we can to prevent it. And like what Jess said, through medication, through making sure that these trigger factors are under control. I think that is one of the most important ways that we can do to protect ourselves.
Yeah. I think ultimately it's best to eat healthily. Don't drink too many bubble tea.
泡泡茶，你每次都在喝了你。
Yeah, don't drink too many, okay?
too many, okay 啦，可以喝啦，喝一点点啦。
And then exercise, do one set at a time.
Yeah. For me is such incident happen, do not feel guilty because it's not your fault. Okay, do not feel, because a lot of caregivers you go through the guilt stage. Is it because of my fault? Because I never do this, because I never do that. It already happens. Don't stuck there. So let's move on and let's make a better memories again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think from the whole conversation, the biggest thing I took away is that when you are met with such a situation, only then we realize the importance of now lah.
Yeah.
Right, the present.
Yes.
Right, the present. Right, because no one actually guarantees us that we will move on to tomorrow. But what we have now is the present.
Yes.
Yeah, and the fact that you are cherishing it and you're enjoying the moment. I think this is something even myself we can learn. Not to in Singaporeans lah. We always want to buy investment. We want to make money for the future. But in that process, we forget to live in the present, which is the most important thing, because no one actually guarantees us tomorrow. Right? And so what's the point if we work so hard for tomorrow, but at the end of the day, we don't get to enjoy the present?
Enjoy today. I mean, that's what we always do.
Today, election day, you enjoy.
Talk about that. I cannot say who you want to vote.
Okay, I think that's more or less what I have to ask. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Anything for Jess? No, if not, thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you
for your time and for sharing your very, very personal story with us. I'm sure whoever is listening will be as inspired as I am.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
So thank you so much. And we, myself, and obviously everyone who's listening, I'm sure we all wish Jess a very speedy recovery.
Thank you.
And I enjoyed my time today. So thank you so much. So we'll see you all next time then. Okay, bye-bye.
Monday.
Let's just testing 一下。
希望你以后不会后悔没选择我。